Every Sunday we like to go for a nice long hike.
Yeah, we're very fortunate that we've got quite a few trails right on our doorstep.
And this is Jet, who comes with us every Sunday.
She belongs to a neighbour of ours who's an older lady and can't really walk very far with us, so she enjoys coming on a nice long walk with us.
This week NASA landed a rover on Mars, and I don't know about you, but it kind of looked strangely familiar.
We actually read this week, didn't we, that the training for the NASA mission was done on Lanzarote, our sister island, because of the very similar terrain.
I don't think we're the only ones that thinks this about the landscape, by the way, because Apple TV are actually filming a brand new sci-fi TV series out here. So they've had a crew of about 400 people, I believe, staying in Caleta since December, filming this new series, which is pretty exciting.
They're filming it in Twinege, aren't they? Which is in the middle of the island, and it's reportedly bringing in €10 million to the island, which is great news because obviously this year particularly the main source of income is tourism, and we haven't had that really.
Somebody's complaining that we're talking too much and not doing enough walking, so come on, off we go. Had a bit of a weird week in terms of weather here, which has made filming a video a bit of a challenge, I'll be honest. Not helped by the fact that I really need a new tripod. The one that I've got is just not much good in the wind, and we've had a lot of strong wind, haven't we, this week?
There was a calima that started, I think, on Tuesday, so it was very hazy and then very windy, so it's been a little bit difficult this week.
Yesterday we did manage to get out and about for the day, and we actually went down to Las Playitas, which is somewhere that we've been before actually. If you've not seen that video, then I will link it up in the top corner somewhere. But somebody ages ago, I'm really sorry I can't remember who, but sent me a message about Faro de Entallada, which is a beautiful lighthouse down there at Las Playitas, and when we went the first time we didn't have time to go up there. So we made a point yesterday to go and have a look round, didn't we?
Yeah, a very windy, steep road to get up there, so it's not for the faint-hearted, but it was worth it. It was a lovely lighthouse and some fantastic views up there. It's right by the coastline, obviously, because it's a lighthouse.
So I'll insert the footage here and show you what it was like, and then we'll come back and tell you what we thought of it.
Las Playitas is a 25-minute drive from Caleta de Fuste and close to the town of Gran Tarajal. This coastal village area is beautiful, even with the haze brought by the calima on the day we were there. It has a couple of restaurants that face the water and is a good place for seafood. We left the village to join the road that leads to El Faro de Entallada.
So I reckon we're probably about halfway along this 6-kilometre road. It's really well signposted from Las Playitas, so you're not going to be able to miss it. We've just caught our first sight actually, haven't we, of the lighthouse?
Yeah.
Up behind us.
Up on high.
It is high up, so I'd say if you are a nervous driver and you're worried about climbing up the narrow road, this is probably the point in the road to leave the car and start walking. But we're going to carry on up in the car and see what it's like, because it's probably only going to take another 5 minutes to get up there. The lighthouse was built in 1953 and one of the last in Spain to be built with accommodation for the people that worked here. There appear to be 3 separate homes underneath the lighthouse, and there's even a separate garage block for 3 cars too. It was designed by Carlos Alcon and incorporates Moorish architecture. The glass dome which houses the lights is beautiful. The lighthouse is considered to be the closest point in the Canary Islands to Africa. Cape Juby in Morocco is just 70 miles away. It's a great place to enjoy uninterrupted views of the ocean, but hold on to your hats up here, it's very windy. So we've just dropped Jet off. I think she'll sleep well for the rest of the afternoon, but we just wanted to briefly touch on Faro de Entallada. It is a really beautiful building, isn't it? Yeah,
I mean, to look at it, it's very unique. It's probably the prettiest looking lighthouse I've ever seen. Quite Art Deco-y in design, I thought.
Yeah, very, very beautiful. And despite the weather yesterday, which has now cleared overnight because we had a bit of a storm pass through, which is good news, the views up there were still incredible, and even on a day where we had a little bit of calima left, the visibility was still pretty good. So the views off the cliff there and out over towards the ocean are really beautiful. But there are a couple of negatives. The first one, for me at least, was that there was no information up there at all for visitors. So it's one of those places that, you know, it's worth knowing a little bit about it before you go. Really, for tourists, there should be some sort of information on its history so that you've got an idea what you're looking at. The other thing is that road.
Yeah, I mean, most of the road on the way up to the lighthouse is fine. It's a proper tarmac road, but then it becomes very steep, very narrow, very winding. There's rocks that have obviously fallen onto the road itself. So it's not for the faint-hearted is all I would say, but that's quite a short section of the road.
It is. The section that we showed where we'd stopped before we headed up there, once you past that point, really, there's a sign that says that the road's narrowing, and then a 30-kilometre speed limit sign. Once you've gone past that point, there is no possibility of turning round, so you need to know that that's what it's like before you go up that section. The other thing is, and I agree with Sarah, it's actually a relatively short section of road, although it's steep. The issue with it really is the visibility around the bends. You can't really see what's coming the other way, and if something is coming, it's going to be quite difficult to pass just because of how narrow it is. So,
there's a couple of passing places, but not many.
So just keep that in mind. But I would say as well, it's a short visit. Once you get up there, you're probably going to only spend 20 minutes up there because there's not an awful lot to see other than the views and the lighthouse itself.
Yeah, you can't get in there. There are gates stopping you from getting too close, although you can walk all the way around the outside of it.
Yeah, which is what we did, and we definitely recommend that. But I think coupled with a visit to Las Playitas, which is a beautiful little town on the coast there, definitely worth spending some time down there. So yeah, I think it's good for us to see. The weather really wasn't playing ball yesterday. It was
very
windy up there.
And yeah, especially up there. I mean, it was a windy day anyway, but as you can imagine, higher up it was even worse.
But that's it for this week. Leave us a comment down below. Let us know where you're watching from, because as the channel's growing, I think we're getting viewers from all over the place, and it's really interesting for us to know where you are. So leave us a comment and let us know, and we'll see you next week for another video.
Bye for now.
Bye.